Oh, hello. My name is... as I was saying, my name is Adriana, and today we'll talk about professional communication and how to master it. By the way, I know I didn't introduce myself professionally. We'll get back to that later. For now, let's start with the basics. So, what is professional communication? Communication is all around us. Whether we're just listening to someone or having a conversation, we're constantly exchanging verbal and non-verbal messages. So, communication is essential for our daily work and life. Speaking of work, professional communication represents the exchange of information and ideas with others within a work environment. And professional communication is not just about being nice and friendly. It's also a tool for improving team collaboration and performance and boosting employees' morale. If you're still not sure why communicating professionally is crucial for your success at work, let's go over some of the most important reasons why you should master it. First of all, strong communication skills are highly appreciated among employees and managers. You'll be more likely to land your dream job or get promoted. Also, being a good communicator makes a difference between being a good and a bad leader. Good leaders know how to communicate effectively with their teams and how to motivate people. All in all, when you fail to communicate what you need to, the way you need to, it can drastically affect your professional relationships. This can, in turn, affect your career prospects. There are several barriers to effective professional communication you should be aware of. Number 1, poor communication. Poor communication happens when there's a disconnect between what is said and what is understood. What causes this problem? Simply put, a lack of relevant information. For example, your boss sets a project deadline for Friday. You thought that you had to have it done by the end of the workday. But you get a message at 1 p.m. asking why didn't you send in the project by now? So, in this situation, you missed the deadline because it was poorly communicated, or because you weren't listening to the details. Number 2, information overload. Even though a lack of communication can lead to problems, too much information can cause even more damage. How come? Well, it can be overwhelming and stop you from focusing on what's really important in all that noise. For example, unnecessary meetings that have nothing to do with the value that you can offer, but still take up your time and energy. This brings us to our next challenge. Number 3, lack of constructive feedback. Now, when is the lack of meeting a problem? Well, when it means a lack of feedback, without frequent constructive feedback, people miss the chance for personal and professional growth. By constructive, we mean feedback with mutual respect and trust, which helps people boost their motivation and performance. If your manager, for example, says you made several mistakes in your last project without giving you more directions and offering support, it's definitely not helpful feedback. Either they need to be more precise and offer steps on how you can improve, or you need to directly ask for these details yourself. Number 4, choosing the right communication channels and tools. Another big challenge people face is finding the right communication channels and tools for what they need to communicate. Take emails, for example. Sometimes people don't see new emails for hours on end, even if you're desperately waiting for a reply. If you work remotely, talking in person isn't an option. If you work at an office, you can't always go to someone's desk to talk. It's not always justified and it can be distracting. To pick the right communication channels and tools, it's important to consider the situation, the person you want to communicate with, and the results you want to achieve. Number 5, misunderstandings caused by body language. Speaking of results, sometimes it's our body language that's stopping us from communicating clearly because it can send wrong signals to other people. For example, if you come to your boss with a great idea for your next project and they cross their arms, avoid eye contact, couple that with a monotone voice, and you'll most likely think they're not interested in hearing more about your idea, even if this is not really the case. So, how can you overcome these challenges and communicate more professionally with colleagues, clients, managers, and everyone else in your business environment? First, watch your body language and tone of voice, because they can say more than your words. Uncross your arms, make eye contact, and smile. You'll signal you're open to communicate. This is not just important when you speak, but also when you listen to others. Second, don't listen to people just to reply. Instead, listen to understand. Ask clarifying questions if necessary, and paraphrase key points to ensure you understand everything correctly. Most importantly, never assume anything. Always ask additional questions and express your doubts and concerns, if any. Whether you're a manager or an employee, it's always better to over-communicate instead of assuming. But don't slip into information overload either. These are two different things. By over-communicating, you're actually focusing on emphasizing what's of value for the individual or team. With that in mind, don't hesitate to ask for or provide feedback. Be direct and focus on practical tips for improvements. Ultimately, choose an appropriate communication channel and tool. DMs to individuals or groups can be the way to go. They're not too intrusive and they imply a faster response time. You can even use them to ask whether it's a good time to swing by someone's desk and talk with them more in person. Also, if you work remotely and want to talk face-to-face, video calls can be efficient. Once again, just mind your body language and tone. The chances they'll cause misunderstandings are even greater when someone can only see you over a camera. Communication challenges are opportunities to improve the way we interact, especially in a work setting. Even though you can't change how other people communicate, you can do everything right on your end and give others an example on how to communicate professionally. In the beginning of the video, I introduced myself, looking at my phone and clearly waiting for a message. My body language was off and I wasn't paying enough attention or respect to the person I was communicating to, you. So remember, communicating professionally is important, and not just what we say to people, but also how we say it. Thank you for watching this video. What are your worst challenges when communicating in a professional setting? For more tips on professional communication, check out our dedicated posts on the Pumble blog. The links are in the description box. For more videos on professional communication, team collaboration, and productivity, check out and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.